Used to be Pro Player Stadium. Now it's called Hard Rock Stadium. The Miami Dolphins play their home games there. And right before kickoff, like 3 hours, as players and fans were making their way to the stadium, we get word and we see amateur video of Tyreek Hill being detained, handcuffed, and put to the ground by at least 4 Miami-Dade police officers. It was surreal watching it, watching the videos. It happened in a place right off the Turnpike extension in Miami, coming from the north, the exact route that I took every single day to work, the exact place where I had been stopped before for excessive speed. It is easy to have excessive speed there when you are getting to the game before the game starts. There are tons of police in that area right off the Turnpike getting ready for the Dolphins game, or even a Marlins game where it's the Miami-Dade police who are outside of the stadium police. They're waiting right by the parking lots. They're waiting when you go another quarter of a mile down the road and make a right turn on a road called Ives Dairy. There are police on the other side of the stadium. It is heavily policed. They are looking to make sure there's crowd control. When we meet with the police before every homestand, before every game, our focus is on, no matter what the attendance is going to be, you may find this hard to believe, but sometimes we did have 50,000 people. Of course, those are playoff games, but it doesn't matter. But the focus, even with 6,000 people, is crowd control, crowd safety. Period. What happened to Tyreek Hill is so beyond the pale of what we prepare for pre-game, pre-homestand. There is no scenario under which we wanted any of our fans, forget players for a minute, any of our fans to be handcuffed and thrown to the ground because of speeding. More may come out. Let's say Tyreek Hill, he says he didn't. Excessive foul language. Campbell, another one of the players who came to help, was handcuffed because of disobeying an order of an officer. Do you know the police also had a roster? I don't believe, Coca, that we did a Facebook back then, though looking back, that would have been smart. We certainly did make sure that the police had rosters. Who are the players? Who are the executives who are coming to every game? Not so we could break the law, not so we could get speed and put people in danger, but so the police would be aware of what was happening. When you see a car come and you saw it was a nice sports car, pulled over, there's Tyreek Hill. Is it possible the police did not know who Tyreek Hill was? Tyreek Hill himself said so. What if I hadn't been Tyreek Hill? What if people hadn't come to my defense? I think we all know what the answer would have been. When you look at that video, look at the number of police around. If you're watching on Nothing Personal with David Samson YouTube channel, you've got the polices. There are a lot of them on motorcycles, which you can see to the right, and you see the motorcycle helmets. They are there waiting. You see all the fans who are coming to the game. That's the traffic right there. There's a parking lot just 50 feet to the left of this video. That's not where the players pull in. That's where fans pull in. The players have to go to the end of that block and make a right turn. Tyreek Hill is down. Then they lift him up. He's still handcuffed. There is no scenario, and I've been thinking about it only because I envision myself there or my players. This is where we played from 02 to 12 before going to downtown Miami. What pre-game meeting would involve that sort of treatment? None. We don't want anyone treated that way. We would have the conversations about what we would try to do to make sure that fan conduct would not in any way endanger anyone, but also would not become the story. Tyreek Hill played yesterday. The Dolphins have excessive speed. They came back and beat the Jaguars. During the course of the game, every pregame show had to deal with the Tyreek Hill situation. They did it nimbly. The Miami-Dade Police Department had to come up with a statement immediately. And the immediate statement is that they were aware of it and they're going to look into it. Then during the game, they had another statement which said, we're launching an internal affairs investigation, thoroughly reviewing it. It's page 2 of the playbook. And then one of the officers involved is placed on administrative duties. That's code word for we've got to put the blame on somebody with the police because there's no way we could possibly look worse. People in Miami-Dade, whether it's the mayor or county commissioners, for sure spoke to the police department and the head of the police department in Miami-Dade and said, this is a national embarrassment. Do something right now. And the first thing that anyone would think of is, all right, we'll just suspend the cop. Which one? They chose the one who actually had him on the ground. Did they choose the one who pulled him over? Did they choose the one who didn't recognize who he was, who didn't believe who he was? Did they look at all the body cam footage before they put one of the cops, just one, on administrative leave? When you quickly react to a situation that has gone viral against you, the odds are you're going to have reacted incorrectly. The push from your PR people to make a decision quickly, when you're the business person, you've got to resist that temptation. You have to, because the second apology, the third, the second, fourth statement, that's when all the problems come. Tyreek Hill treated this as well as can be expected. His agent, Drew Rosenhaus, was on the spot, ready to talk to ESPN, ready to give quotes about the investigation. There could be lawyers. It is a disgrace. All of the things that you'd expect your agent to say. The agent got to Tyreek Hill in time to talk about what to say post-game, and he did. I still don't know what happened, but I want to use the platform to say, what if I wasn't Tyreek Hill? Drew Rosenhaus did a great job of getting Tyreek prepared. Tyreek did a great job of getting Tyreek prepared, not just for the game, but for the post-game. This story is not going to go away anytime soon, and Roger Goodell knows it. There is going to be consequences to it. At some point, we're going to find out more about the stop, how exactly it happened, why it happened, and what happened during it. All of that news overshadowed the other storylines from week one. The fact that there were games that counted.